The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cinder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Nancy Martz, and Nancy is the founder and executive director of Apples to Zucchini Cooking School. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk with you today.
I'm excited to talk to you. Apples to Zucchini.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
Like A to Z.
A to Z. It took me a little while.
Yeah.
I
You're
caught
not
it.
the first.
So tell me what you folks do at Apples to Zucchini Cooking School.
We teach people how to cook. And it's not just about cooking. We're building and strengthening communities over shared meals. So we teach children, teens, and adults how to prepare delicious, nutritious, affordable meals using local and seasonal ingredients. And then we all sit down together at the table. We have cloth-covered tablecloths on the table, and we put our napkins on our laps, and we wait until everyone's been seated, and we enjoy a meal. And then the classes with kids and teenagers, we also have them wash the dishes. But we figure in our adult classes, if you don't know how to wash dishes by now, that's on you. But with the kids and teens, a lot of them aren't doing any of that at home. They're not preparing food. They're not setting the table. Oftentimes the family isn't taking the time to sit down together. Or if they do, there's a lot of this, you know. And studies show, there's a couple things. Studies show that teens who have at least 3 meals, but even 3 is enough, 3 meals a week with their family show markedly lower risk factors for risky behavior, sex, drugs, rock and roll. And the other study shows that the mere presence of a phone on the table, even if it's turned off and it's upside down, the mere presence of a phone on the table diminishes the quality of conversation.
Isn't that something? I could see how that'd be true, but I would never have thought of that.
So social scientists actually studied it. We told our teens this at a camp last summer, and in both sessions we got how do you know that? And I said,
we Googled it.
I said, yeah, we did. We Googled it. And I said, thank you so much for asking. And then I kind of ran through the thing, and they were like, don't ask her any more questions. But by the end of the session, I would say, and they would go, diminishes the quality of conversation. Yeah, you got it. You got it. So yeah, phone free and tablecloths and real food, and the kids have prepared it, and that's what we do. And then with the adults, it's just an opportunity to have conversations.
And you started with kids though, right?
We started with kids. We always dreamt of getting bigger, but we didn't know when that would happen. And then with the pandemic, all the schools where we were doing after school programming, everything shut down. So we did summer camp, and then we started doing after school at our own sites. So kids were in, if you recall, this was only a year and a half ago, the schools were all Zoom. So the kids weren't leaving and they were in pods, right? So they couldn't leave the house. So for some of the kids that we were teaching, we were the only time they were out of the house and with other children each week. But back to your question, we started with kids, and then once the pandemic hit, we kind of had some time on our hands. So we were able to start doing adult classes, or planning adult classes, now that things are starting to calm down with the pandemic. And we've also been able to reach out to nonprofits and partner with them. Nonprofits where they already have a group of kids in the afternoon or in the evening or on the weekend. And so then we just work with those. So we work with the library, both the East Side and the downtown library, and the library's new van on the go, their bookmobile. We work with them, and Girls Inc., Noah's Anchorage, Safe House, and we're in conversations with several other nonprofits all around the community, and hoping to expand into Lompoc, Cuyama, San Ynez, Santa Maria, Orchid. In the next, that's probably in the next 2 years that we'll be able to really branch out, and Carpinteria. Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
It's really fun. The growth is really exciting, and the classes are so much fun.
So you're the founder.
Yeah.
How did you think of starting something like this? What was your
Well, when I was quite a bit younger, I was in law school in San Francisco, and to kind of break up sort of the stress of law school, I took a 12-week cooking course.
Oh.
And each week the classes would build on each other. So we made stock the first week, and we were, encouraged to go to the butcher and ask for the gizzards and ask for this and do this, and then come back next week and tell us how it went and ask any questions. So the first week is stock, then it's sauces and soufflés, and then we moved on to pastries and braising and roasting, and we really, in 12 weeks we really kind of did everything, and I didn't practice law, but I kept cooking.
Oh no, how funny.
So that one was a little more useful. Then when my son was in 6th grade at Marymount, they did the UN $1.50 challenge. Have you heard of this? The challenge is to live on $1.50 a day.
Oh, golly.
So buy food for $1. The idea, not that you have to go and buy the dollar menu, but over the course of a week, if you buy a loaf of bread and it costs this much, and you have 2 slices, and you buy a thing of eggs, and you have right. So it's sort of a math lesson for kids in school, but there's also this social studies, global issues, social justice lesson with it. And so I said, okay, if you're a family of 4 and you've each got $1.50, that's $42 a week to feed your family. It can be done. It's very hard, and it can only be done if you know how to cook and you know what to buy. If you're going to the prepared food section at a grocery store, like the building a salad bar, or the food is already hot, the deli case, or if you're buying frozen meals, you're not going to get that many meals in $42. So I realized that people needed to learn how to cook. Parents are already very busy. If you're struggling to feed your family of 4, you're probably working 2 or 3 jobs. You don't have time to come to a cooking class.
Right.
But kids are done with school around 3 in the afternoon, and there's after-school programming. The other thing is, if mom or dad takes a cooking class and they learn how to make kale chips, and they come home and say, oh my gosh, we had kale chips, you're gonna love them, let's go have some. They're gonna say, no, we're not. Whereas if the kids come home and say, Mom, why don't you ever make kale chips? She'll say, get in the car, we're going to the store. So the kids can become the ambassadors and say, let's try this, or I tasted this food, and we can do it this way. And ideally they can say, scoot over, Mom, scoot over, Dad. I can make dinner a few times a week. And I can certainly help wash the dishes afterwards, because we teach the kids how to do that as well.
That's really good.
We set the table, we eat, they wash the dishes, and we put it all away.
How about planning the meal?
In the summertime, we can get a little bit more guidance from the kids, and we can sometimes ask, all right, we've got you for 8 weeks or 10 weeks, once a week. What are some things that you want? So we ask them for their feedback, but we also say, as we're making a recipe, so we're doing it with these ingredients today, but you could easily swap something out. You could put this over bow tie pasta instead of spaghetti, or you could use these herbs and spices instead. So we really try to give them the opportunity to be creative. We have what we call signature dishes, and that means you make your own and I make my own. So for example, sushi, or spring rolls, or guacamole, or bruschetta, these kinds of things where we say make it as spicy or as mild, make it more garlicky, or so we have these opportunities for what we call signature dishes.
Now, did I hear you say that you have a facility?
We do. We have a teaching kitchen. It's at the Garden Street Academy campus. So it's 16 burners, 9 ovens. It's amazing. But during COVID, we've mostly had to stay outdoors. So we also have the garden that's tucked in the corner of the Garden Street Academy campus, and we actually just pop up a kitchen right there. So we have everything we need to teach classes outdoors.
So where is it exactly?
It's behind the mission.
Behind the mission.
Behind the mission. So we have a kitchen and we have the garden, but we also, for example, when we do classes with the library, we bring our kitchen cart to the East Side Library, and they have an enclosed patio in the back, and we just kind of Mary Poppins the whole thing out.
Yeah.
We cook and then we put it all away. Same thing with when we do when we meet the van for the library. We just bring what we need, and we have stoves. We can use electricity or not. So we have gas burning stoves and electric stoves. We have food processors that we can plug in. We also have food processors that are kind of hand cranked, so it's also getting a workout for the kids as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can cook anywhere.
That is just amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So, okay, so you folks have a website.
Of course.
You are 501c3 nonprofit.
Yeah.
So people can go on your website and they can make a donation.
Right.
Financial donation.
Yeah, they make a financial donation, and that supports the programs that we have with these partnerships like Safe House and Noah's Anchorage and Girls Inc. and more and more that we're expanding. So that's what the donations cover, is our partnership programs.
Okay.
They can also learn about birthday parties, corporate team building events, family
corporate team
parties.
building. Wow.
Yeah. So we can kind of do all of that. People can come to our site or we can go to theirs.
Oh, they can learn how to volunteer.
Yeah, we use a lot of volunteers. During the school year, in our after-school programs, we do some weekend classes, and then in the summertime, there's a lot of volunteer opportunities. Also, people can volunteer with us at Farmers Market.
I was just going to say, I saw you at Farmers
we saw
Market.
each other there.
Yeah.
So we do a table there. We've taken a little break with Omicron, but we should be back soon. And we have a table at the Saturday and the Tuesday, and we're just kind of sharing information about what we do, encouraging people to cook at home, encouraging them to buy at the farmers market. The farmers market has been the most amazing partner. They've donated almost all of our produce for several years now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just great. And then having the table there is fun because we get to connect with people. And that partnership has really helped us focus more on seasonality and local. You know, we've had our own transformation over the 6 years that we've been doing this, and to see how much more we do with the farmers market in terms of, you know, getting all of our produce from there. And then when we're writing recipes or kind of planning the semester, we go, well, we don't have nectarines right now. Well, why don't we do that one at the end of the semester when the pomegranates are out? And so we're kind of also much more mindful about what's seasonal and what's local.
So how many are on your team?
There are 6 of us on the staff, and then we've got about 15 or 20 volunteers.
Oh.
Yeah. And the volunteer commitment is usually, 8 or 10 weeks, once a week. I mean, we can have sort of drop-in volunteers, but a lot of what we're looking for is that commitment, so that they're with the same kids every week. And so they're building that rapport, and they're able to say, remember what we did last week, remember what we did 2 weeks ago. They can have that conversation. And also, they're part of the children's food journey, where they can say, Cinder, I thought you said you didn't like avocados, but I see how many you're putting on your tacos this week. And so, they're that conversation that I was talking about at the beginning.
Yeah.
Those are relationships, and so we're looking for that with our volunteers and with our chefs, that they're showing the kids how we build relationships over the shared meal. So
you work with schools and with nonprofit organizations, and I was going to ask, how do people find out about you? But
so with the schools, they find out because the schools will send out, this is our after-school offering. There's karate, there's swimming, there's cooking. And then with the nonprofit partners, they'll say to their kids or their teens, okay, if you want to sign up for cooking class, it's on Monday afternoons. And then for people to find out about us at our own campus, we advertise and people get on the mailing list, and so that one is a little bit more challenging to find the people.
Sure.
But also, this is the one that's wide open to the public that anyone can come to.
Okay.
Yeah, those classes, and there are various times depending on the semester.
And people pay, but you have a sliding scale.
So we have scholarships. Yeah.
Okay.
So the classes are generally about $20 per kid per class. That's kind of the starting point. but yeah, we give scholarships, and then most of the programs that we do with our nonprofit partners, that's a sliding scale for the nonprofit to pay us. And if they don't have that in their budget, we want everyone to learn to cook, so that's what we fundraise for.
Gosh.
So that we can offer the classes at no charge to them or their constituents.
That is great. Sounds like you've thought this whole thing through.
Well, we've solved a lot of problems over 6 years. I wouldn't say that we've thought it all through from the beginning, but you know, the world throws a challenge at you and you solve it.
Yeah, sounds like you have.
Well, I have a great team. I have a really, really great team of people who are passionate about cooking and who love working with kids. The key is working with kids. I've told a lot of people, if I had to choose between a Michelin-starred chef who doesn't really like kids or a home cook who loves kids and has the patience, the Michelin-starred chef can make a donation, write us some recipes, but I want that passionate, engaged person in the kitchen with my kids.
So classes are usually how long?
They're 90 minutes. So
90 minutes.
90 minutes, and then it'll be a semester of 8 or 10 weeks, depending on.
8 or 10 weeks, okay.
And so yeah, each class is 90 minutes. It takes about an hour to cook the meal because kids. It might take you or me maybe 25 or 30 minutes, but when it's with kids, you know, the thing is we don't realize what they don't know.
Yeah.
So it's really important to put things in their hands. Even things, for example, like tongs. Can you toss the salad? Can you flip these things? And they get the tongs, and they don't know how to hold them. They don't know what to do because they haven't used them. It's not that, kids these days don't know. No, if you haven't shown them how to do it, they don't know. So we show them how to make their claw and how to slice. And we use cooking terminology. We don't just cut. We slice, we mince, we julienne. And we don't just cook. We boil, we simmer, we steam, we roast. So those are the kinds of skills. So it takes an hour to teach them those things.
Yeah.
And then we sit down together, and it only takes about 10 or 15 minutes. Meals get eaten quickly. People think, oh my gosh, I need so much time at night to sit down. No, 10 minutes with no devices is actually a lot of time to connect with people. And then it takes about 15 minutes to wash everything and put it away. So yeah, our classes are generally 90 minutes, and the semester is 8 to 12 weeks. It kind of depends on what the schools are doing and what the calendar is doing. And then in the summertime, we have camps, and camps are 5 days long, Monday through Friday, and generally 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you're not cooking for 6 hours with kids. That's too much. Even adults don't want to cook 6 hours a day for 5 days. So but it's fun because we can start something in the morning, like this dough needs to rise, or the chia seeds need to soak up. So we can do something in the morning and then go, kind of play some summer camp games and then come back and see it. And we have time for pickling and things that just take longer. We have all that time with the kids, so that's really fun. Great. But it's also just summer camp. We're doing fun things that are kind of maybe foodie related, and we bring in guests to talk about rethink your drink, how much sugar is in your sodas, eat the rainbow, how to add more fruits and vegetables and why they're important. We talk about affordability, really, back to that $1.50 challenge. How much do you think it costs to go to a restaurant to get this meal? And then they're shocked, and then we say, okay, we can make it at home. And so summer camp is really, really fun. And then we often do holiday camps. The kids get out of school for the whole week of Thanksgiving, but parents may not have all that time off. So we'll do 2 or 3 hour classes, and we'll do like make and take gifts at Christmas time and Mother's Day and Easter, and so then we just kind of bring them in when it makes sense for them to take a class.
So how many kids are usually in a class?
12.
Oh, 12.
Yeah, because that way we have the chef and at least one volunteer. So we've got 2 adults, even if it's a high school student. To the kids, they're adults. And so we can have maybe 2 tables of 6, and one group is working on slicing the vegetables, and one group is making the sauce, and we all come together. Or if it's signature dishes, everyone's kind of making their own. But that way, it's one person can keep their eye on 6 kids and 6 knives. Yeah. But you can't You can't really, and then that way when we sit down together, 12 is a nice conversation group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is good. And so so do your camps take place at your facility?
Yes.
Okay.
And if we're talking to some other camps about coming in and doing cooking lessons,
sure.
you know, we can come into your camp every day and teach the kids how to make snacks, or we can come in on Tuesdays, you know, so as we grow and we have the systems and the staff, we can kind of drop in and do lessons. But the all-day camps are at our place, and then we do a beach day. So we go to Ledbetter Beach, and then we go to the fish market, the Santa Barbara Fish Market in the harbor, and we talk to our fishmongers. Shout out to all of them. And then they tell us about fish. They tell us about sustainable seafood, about you know, just the fishing industry and its importance in Santa Barbara. Then we get to taste a bunch of samples, and then we get fish and we go back to the beach and we make ceviche and everything that goes with it.
I love it.
It's really
Nancy,
fun. Oh, the beach day is super fun.
I can see it's really fun for you.
Yeah, we
thank you
love
for
it.
blessing the lives of all these kids and adults too.
Thank you.
And our
Thank
community.
you.
And thanks for being with us on 805 Focus.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
And thanks for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.